I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory unto the Most High. And today, what we're going to be getting into is the story of Samson, man. And I'm pretty sure you guys know of the story of Samson and Delilah. You guys heard about it. And what we're going to be getting into today is, well, pretty much, Delilah is the honey trap, man. I mean, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I mean, she was a honey pot. You know, I'm going to show you that she was a honey pot and exceedingly wicked, man. You know, and she didn't care about Samson. And you know, a lot of the men in the Bible, you know, they've showed weakness when it came to certain points in making you know, decisions or heeding instructions of the Most High, man. For example, when you look at Adam and Eve, you know what I mean, that Adam fell by hearkening on to the voice of his woman, man. When you look at Solomon fell, you know, because he chased it after the other woman in the other nations, man. And we got Samson right here, and you know, his downfall was because, you know what I mean, of another woman, and also him not hearkening onto the Most High. But a lot of the things that, you know what I mean, they did, these were tactics that they use today, man, as far as a honeypot goes, you know, and surveillance. So we're gonna take a look at these things, man. So we're in the book of Judges, and this right here, this is Samson's first wife that he I think he found in Timnath. Maybe I'd be pronouncing that wrong. And this is picking up from where, you know, Samson told these men a riddle, and they had to find the answer to the riddle. And you know, these men couldn't figure it out. You know, but if they could figure it out, they would get a reward. You know what I mean? So this is where it's picking up from, man. This is not Delilah as yet. This is her first wife. Let's go. And it came to pass on the 70th day that they said unto Samson's wife, entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take what we have? Is it not so? So, you know, this is what the devil does when he can't win, man. You know what I mean? So these guys basically can't figure out the riddle. So they have Samson's wife here, and they're telling her, hey, find out the riddle, else we're gonna burn your father's house down, and you also. So you see this devil, man, when he can't get through to the man, he's gonna use the woman, man. He's gonna use the woman when he can't get through to the man. And you know, because the woman is more, I mean, like it says, the weaker vessel, and I say weaker as in she could be more beguiled easily. You know, so that's why the Most High has, you know, a covering, put the man as a covering over her, you know, to protect her, you know. But basically, this is what the devil does when he can't win. So it's the same thing they do out here, man. You know, they doing currently, man. They threaten people to get what they want. Let's keep going. And Samson's wife wept before him and said, thou dost hate me and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee? So he didn't even tell the riddle to his father and mother, man. Why he's gonna tell you? So let's keep going. And she wept before him the 7 days while their feast lasted, and it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him, and she told the riddle to the children of her people. So you see, Samson, he had a weakness, man. You know what I mean? All she had to do was keep nagging him, and he gave in. You know what I mean? And she went straight to her people and told them. Let's keep going. And the men of the city said unto him, and the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, what is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? So that's the answer to the riddle. What is sweeter than honey and stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, if you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have found out my riddle. So you see, the enemy, they worked through his woman to find out, you know what I mean, the secret, man. You know what I mean? And Samson should have learned, from this lesson from the beginning, man. So this was like a warning for Samson, man, of something to come. And Samson ended up slaying these men because they messed with his woman, and this woman ended up dying because I believe they did burn her and her father's house down. But yeah, this was a warning to come, man. These guys went and they went to his woman and they threatened her to find out the secret. So this was just like a precursor to what's going to be coming in the future, man. And another thing too, it was like all of this could have been avoided if Samson just hearkened onto the voice of his mother. His mother was saying, yo, don't deal with the woman of the other nations. You know what I mean? Don't deal with the woman of the other nations. Because if he was dealing with somebody of his own nation, these men they couldn't have came onto her and threatened her like that. These men were a part of her nation, man. Trying to find out the secrets of Samson, man. So that was another error, of Samson. Let's keep going. So first we're gonna look at what a honeypot is. What is honeypot slang for? So you see where I started at the highlighted part? It says espionage. A spy, typically attractive female who uses sex to trap and blackmail a target. A woman who attracts sexual attention from men. So that's what a honeypot is, and that's what Delilah was to me. She was a honey trap. Even though let's say Samson was the one that was chasing after her, he's the one that went after her. But we're gonna show you why she was a honeypot, man, and a snake. Let's keep going. Now, it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistine came up unto her, and said unto her, entice him, and see wherein his strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. So there you go. They offering the Judas coins, man. Hey, find out his secret, and we're gonna give you these 11 pieces of silver. The Judas coins, man. So let's go, man. So, and she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. So we're gonna come back to verse 15. Because I bypassed those verses where he mocked her 3 times. We're gonna come back to that at a later time and show you how much of a snake she is, man. You know what I mean? She's a dog, man. Let's keep going. And it came to pass, she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and be like any other man. So he gave up the secret. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he has shewed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and brought money in their hand. So they came with the reward for her, man. Basically she was a honey trap, man, a honey pot, man. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called a man, and he caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. So check this out, man. Now, this is after Samson slew 1,000 men by himself. So after you slay 1,000 men by yourself, your name is gonna ring throughout the lands, man. You're gonna be famous. Men are gonna know about you. So I'm pretty sure men knew about Samson, man. And the thing with her is, like, she wasn't afraid of these men. She wanted to do this. She wanted these Judas coins, man. She didn't care about Samson. Because why would she not go to him and tell him what these men were doing? Now the first wife was threatened. I mean, and he didn't slay 1,000 men at that time. But the second wife, you know what I mean? This second woman that he was with, Delilah, this is after he slayed 1,000 men. So she knew he was capable of defeating these men. But she didn't want to tell him that, man. You know? She wanted him to them to afflict him. So you see that we all know what happened after this. You know what I mean? They bounded Samson because he lost his strength. You know, they put out his eyes. And, you know, they put him in front of the pillars, man. Delilah was a dog, man. You know what I mean? She was a dog, man. She was a honeypot trap. This man was capable of defeating these men, but she didn't tell him anything. She wasn't afraid of these guys, man. She wanted the money. Let's keep going. So we know that they put Samson in front of the pillars, right? And they Samson called out to the Most High one more time, and he asked for his strength back to defeat his foes one more time. And you know, we know that he pushed those two pillars apart, and all the house came raining down, man, upon his enemies, man, and it eventually led to his death and the death of his enemies. So we see that. Let's bring this verse up real quick, and then we're gonna get into it. Once again, I brought this verse up in one of my other videos, man. Here it is again. 1 Maccabees chapter 3, 18 through 19. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the Most High of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company. For the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of hosts, but strength cometh from heaven. So we see with Samson here, it was never about his hair, man. You know what I mean? It was never about his hair, because after his hair got cut off, he called unto the Most High again, and the Most High was able to give him back his strength to destroy his enemies once again, to pull down those pillars, man. It was him being obedient, man. And we see that, you know what I mean, that same tactic that the enemies used on his first wife, they came back again and used it on his second wife. You know what I mean? Because like I said, she was a honeypot trap, man. And the devil, if he can't get through to the man, like I said, he's gonna go through the woman. You know, that devil, man. And these are the same tactics that they use in the day. And you know, with Samson, another thing that I was thinking about now. Tell me if I'm going off on this. We're gonna look at this. This is how we probably envision Samson. You know what I mean? Somebody that's probably fit, brolic, muscle on top of muscle. You know what I mean? Just a strong dude, man. Like a bodybuilder type guy. But what if Samson wasn't like this? You know, what if Samson was like a regular sized dude, man? Like this. You know, what if he was a regular sized dude like this, average size, you know what I mean? He wasn't muscular. And maybe that's why they was wondering where his strength comes from, man. Because you said the Most High has a sense of humor, man. You know what I mean? He has a sense of humor. And sometimes I think, like, what if Samson really wasn't, you know, like we thought he was, with all these muscles, man? He could have been an average sized guy just slaying cats, man. So that's why they were inquiring about his muscles, man. I mean, not his muscles, his strength. You know, like, hey, where's this full strength coming from? I don't know, but let's go back to Delilah real quick. Now, I said I was gonna go back to the 3 times that Samson mocked her. You know, and when he said mocked her, he pretty much lied to her about what his secret was. So she won't figure it out, you know. But what I want you to pay attention right here is look at how much of a snake that she is. After every secret that he revealed onto her, look at what she did, and then you're gonna see how much of a dog that she is, man. Okay, and Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, If they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then I shall be weak, and as another man. That was a lie. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber, and she said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the withs as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire. So his strength was not known. I mean, so he broke the you know what I mean, the 7 green withs that they put on him, man. So this, after he told her this, she was actually trying to bound him so they could get him. She was a dog, man. Let's keep going, man. And Delilah said unto Samson, Behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherein thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then I shall be weak, and as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him wherewith, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them from off his arms like a thread. See, every time he told her a secret, she went and got the Philistines. This was not a woman that cared about him. You know what I mean? Let's keep going. And Delilah said unto Samson, Hereto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with the pin, and said unto him, The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awakened out of his sleep, and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. So we're going to stop right there. So you see, 3 times he lied to her, and every single time, you know, he told her she was trying to set him up, and Samson didn't, you know, he didn't see that, man. So Samson was kind of a simp, to be honest with you. Yeah, he had all that strength, you know, but he didn't pick up on the signs. To be honest with you, man, he didn't pick up on the signs that these women were out here to, I mean, destroy him, man. Come on, man. Now we see, man, you know, many wars have been fought over women, man. A lot of men have died over women. You know what I mean? And we see that, you know what I mean, these guys, Solomon, Adam, Samson, these guys are prime examples of men that didn't hearken onto the instructions of the Most High. And they heeded to the voice of the woman. And of course they had love for these people. You know what I mean? But these people, you know, they drew them, in terms of Solomon and Samson, they drew them away from the Most High, man. You know, they did. And you know, we need to stand firm in our decisions and not be swayed, man. You know, Delilah was a honeypot trap, man. Same thing going on today. The same type of tactics they use in a day, man. You know. So all praises to the Most High, man. I'm out.